Hey, welcome to the 24/7 stream right here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. Ron Jones just left the 11Alive News at 6. Head down here to the Streaming Center. And the topic of today, right off the top, of course, has been the weather. That's why we bring in the Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb. And I tell you what, it's been kind of like a mixed bag. A little bit of soggy, a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we deal with these patterns here, where you can get rain that develops and it'll be really heavy, but it won't last a long time, and then it gets hot and humid, whereas somebody down the road may not have gotten any rain at all. And that was a similar situation today where we had some really heavy rain that came through Atlanta a little bit earlier, and that prompted a flash flood warning for parts of Fulton County and also Cobb County. Once that moved out, we haven't seen any additional rain in the Atlanta area, and I really think that we're going to be okay for the rest of the nighttime hours. But take a look at radar. Even though we don't have anything in Atlanta, we do have showers pretty much surrounding and circling around the city of Atlanta. I'm going to put this into motion, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about here. All of those showers are moving in a different direction than what we normally see, in all different directions, actually, where we have just those scattered showers on the north side. Those are moving over toward the west. Really heavy rain coming down in parts of Pickens County there near Jasper, between Jasper and Ellijay, in parts of Gilmer County. Also some additional showers up between Dahlonega and Blairsville. Those showers in the northern parts of White County, moving through Union and Towns County. That's about to move into areas of Fannin County, where we have pockets of heavy rain, thunder, and lightning with those. Also, we've been watching some over on the west side, just over the line into Alabama. Those are finally dying out. Still a few showers near Folsom and Wedowee and Randolph County, Alabama. I do want to show you, though, there's one storm that we're watching here that has just started popping up in South Fulton there at Palmetto, right along Highway 29 between just north of Palmetto and a little bit to the east of Chattahoochee Hills. That's just firing up. I really think that most of those showers and storms still around the metro Atlanta area are going to be diminishing tonight. We've also been watching some of these over to the east of us. Putnam County was getting hit hard with some really heavy rain and thunder and lightning earlier. We still have some showers near Round Oak there in Monroe County, north of the Macon area, where those showers are going to continue moving up into Putnam. I really think those are going to continue weakening too. And that's going to be the trend for the rest of the evening hours, is that things are going to be dying out as they move away. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals. I want to concentrate on the purple colors that you see there from McDonough up into parts of DeKalb County along I-20, there along 75 north inside the perimeter, and then also up in Cobb County. All of those areas where you see the purple is where we've seen anywhere from 2 to 3+ inches of rain in some of those individual cells that came through earlier. So you can see how everything's pretty much just kind of circling around the city. I do think these will continue to die out through the evening hours. Look at this video we got in from Athens. B took this video. That's more than just rain coming down. There's some hail in that from earlier today, pea-size hail, and you can see when you look at the street, all of the heavy rain just kind of moving down there along the curb because that rain was coming down so heavily. Here is a look right now in Dahlonega at the University of North Georgia. I'm looking back toward those showers that we just told you about in parts of Pickens County and northern Dawson County, and you can see the rain shafts in association with that there in the distance. Also in Clark County right now in Athens, things are quieter now compared to what they were a little bit earlier. We've got some sunshine coming through, and great news at Hartsfield-Jackson. Earlier, we had 2-hour delays, and we had a ground stop before that. Now they have finally caught up on those delays. They were at 120 minutes, then 75 minutes, then 45 minutes, then 30 minutes. Now they have caught up. No weather delays at Hartsfield-Jackson as of right now. And take a look at these temperatures. Really interesting how it was mild this morning in the mid 70s. Then we got up to 82 at 11 o'clock. And then that rain came in around lunchtime and after, dropped us into the 70s. And then once that rain ended, it started heating up again, back to the mid-80s out there right now. In fact, you can see that temperature at 84 in Atlanta. Athens dropped to the 70s with rain earlier. They're back up to 80, but Gainesville still holding at 78. Carrollton holding at 77. Look at Clayton up in northwest Georgia, 69 degrees there right now. Hey, I'll take that anytime. We start off at 71 here in the morning, and then most of the morning will be dry. Our better rain chances will come in later in the afternoon with highs near 87, with a 60% chance for showers for those afternoon hours. So see those showers kind of circling around the city. Watch through the evening as they circle. They're going to just die out as we lose some of the heating of the day. Tomorrow morning we start off dry, and then around lunchtime and after specifically is when we'll see those scattered showers redeveloping. Rain chances tomorrow are going to be at about 50%, and then still afternoon showers redeveloping on Thursday, but I really think the rain chance may be a little lower on Thursday at 40%. I know that's not a huge difference, but we'll take whatever we can get. And then also going into the weekend, the rain chances don't go away, but they will be a little bit lower. Look at that on Friday. More of those showers popping up. So it's almost like a daily occurrence of these afternoon and evening showers and storms. Tomorrow's rain chances at 50%, 40% Thursday and Friday, and then 30% Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday. And with that, temperatures are going to return to the lower 90s for the weekend and also to start next week.
Okay. All right, Chris. So have you had dinner yet?
I have not, but I'm smelling something really good
Ooh,
in the halls, and it's making me even more hungry.
Oh, well, we got a special treat on the other side of the break because this is Black Restaurant Week, and we got a restaurant here. We're going to talk about it in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. Hey, Ron Jones here. Welcome back to the 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. I am so excited. I'm so excited because we're going to do something different that we have never, ever done before here in the Streaming Center. We are now making history because we're stepping outside of the Streaming Center and walking all the way, well, actually, it's kind of like right across the hallway, because it is Black Restaurant Week, and that means we're going to be featuring a restaurant. So we're going to be heading outdoors right now. Maybe a little delay. Could be a little bit. Follow me this way. Yeah. That's right. We're going to be celebrating culture. We're celebrating creativity. Oh my goodness, that looks so good right now. And today we're going to be spotlighting one of those favorites. And it's called Beyond Barbecue in Georgia, right here in Georgia. And we're going to be speaking about their journey and what makes that barbecue stand out. And with us today is Navon and Ashley Ross, and they are the owners of Barbecue and Beyond. And let me tell you, this stuff looks so good right now because we got what we got. We got some ribs, we got some sweet potato, we got some baked beans, we got some chicken, shrimp as well. And what else we got?
Those are our homemade corn muffins.
Homemade corn muffins, okay.
Yes.
So we know that this is a special week because it's Black Restaurant Week, and a lot of folks are going to be celebrating culture and creativity.
Yes.
And so what made you guys start this restaurant or begin this restaurant?
What made us start this restaurant was we love cooking. We love cooking out. We love enjoying food that we come up with on our own. Our seasonings, sauces, syrups, all made in-house. So in our own backyard,
Okay.
14 years ago,
Wow. What? Okay,
Yes.
14 years ago?
fell in love with the passion of barbecuing, smoking meats.
Okay.
Not the ordinary barbecue.
All right.
Packed with flavor.
Yes, and so my inspiration was always the sides because, of course, if you have the grill master, you have to have the sides to go with it to complete the meal. So our biggest thing is providing comfort food, but away from home, feeling like you're away from home. So when you come to Beyond Barbecue, you will have a great experience because you'll feel like you're at home at a barbecue space with your friends and family because we make it for you all to feel like it's family oriented when you come. So you get a big experience when you come there. It's not just, oh, I just order my food and then I go home. We making the experience from the flavor and to the hospitality that we provide.
Okay, you know, and I think about a lot of black-owned businesses out there. How do you think what you guys are doing, especially with your own restaurant, how do you think this inspires other black restaurants or black businesses? Or what would you say to someone who is like, you know, I like to start my own business. It may not be barbecue, it could be whatever, you know, starting their own marketing company. What would you say to them to encourage them, to inspire them?
Follow your dreams. It's going to be hard, but if you trust in God and you follow the path that He give you, just trust in the process along the way. I'm big on, yes, you can work your 9 to 5, but tap into what you really love to do. Tap into your purpose. And so, yes, you can work your 9 to 5, but still do something that you enjoy doing. That when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like, oh, it's bugging me. You enjoying what you're doing.
Maybe
so,
a little side hustle here and there
Yes.
to try to spark that dream to push
most
forward.
definitely. Because once you get into it, then you start giving it your all. But you never know what you can do if you don't jump out there and do it.
Yeah, that's right. My wife always tells me, you're never going to know unless you go.
Yes, you
right?
have to
unless,
do it.
Unless you make it. I mean, what do you think about that, Devon?
It's the same way. I feel the same way. Like you say, if you don't jump out the airplane, you don't know your parachute work.
That's
Right?
true.
So with that being said, you wake up with a full steam, go straight ahead of what you're looking for, what you're working on, know your craft. If it's not your craft, try it anyway.
Okay.
Make the best of it.
Okay, you guys got me fired up. I'm ready to maybe not own a restaurant or anything like that, you know. But let's talk about the food here. Are we going to have a taste test? I mean, where would we start first? Is there an appetizer we should look at?
So our appetizer that most people do order are our shrimp kebabs that we have with our beef. These are our beef briskets, sausage that's in between of it. So you can't get that nowhere else besides Beyond Barbecue.
Okay.
So we gave it a little twist and the spin-off, but it's really, really good. You have your colossal shrimp. So they're a nice size. By the time you get ready for this appetizer, you share it with your friends and family. You're going to be ready to move forward to try some of our entrees.
Okay, what else we got here, sir?
Okay, we have our wonderful smoked chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
Oh, it looks good. That presentation.
It
Yes,
is.
yes, low and slow. Everything on this table, we smoke from 4-hour minimum up to 12 hours.
4 to 12 hours
Yes.
before it even gets out there to the customer.
Yes.
Every morning we are in the building at 5 a.m. We always cook fresh.
Okay.
No leftovers, no microwaves. We're not zapping your food. So by lunchtime, it's time to come on in
And that
elevate
meat,
your barbecue
basically that meat is probably dropping off the bone.
Yes.
It's probably
Yes,
dropping off
it
the bone,
is.
right? Because is that the objective?
It
You know,
is.
so here's what's interesting. You guys also have a learning center. Okay,
Yes.
tell me about the learning center.
We have Ross Learning Academy. We have been open for 4 years now.
Okay.
I used to be a first grade teacher, so that's what inspired us of going outside of the classroom and doing what you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
So childcare and education for our kids is something that is really, really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So Nadavon and I, we talked about it, and I said, hey, I really want to leave this job, and I want us to make an impact because I don't feel like I'm making a bigger impact if I'm just stuck in the classroom.
Yeah.
So how do we reach out to our community and serve them? And so we came up with Ross Learning Academy. Of course,
Wow.
Ross, that's our last name.
Of course, yeah.
And from our academy, we pour into our families, whether outside of the classroom, inside of the classroom. Our goal is to build a whole child. So when they leave us, they're ready for elementary school.
Okay, so not only are you feeding the stomach, but you're feeding the soul
Yes.
at the
yes.
same
and
time.
Navon, he is the cook there as well, so they get a piece of Beyond Barbecue
Barbecue.
flavor before we
At
even
school,
open.
yeah.
You know, so I think about this, especially that when you have a black-owned restaurant or just a business in general. I know you guys are partners. You're both married. You're doing this together. But I'm going to ask you, Navon, how important is this to support your partner when you're engaged in this type of endeavor?
Oh man, the support is unmatched. Once you wake up and you realize who your partner is, out of all these years, it's no way to turn back once it's something that needs to be done. So the support system, like I said, it's unmatched. There's no way that I can lack on that end for supporting my beautiful wife, and as she support me, everything's worked just perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's true, because I've learned after almost being married almost 50 years for me. Yeah, I've been around. I got married when I was 12 years old. Okay, I'm just joking about that part. But, you know, there's no such thing as 50-50. Right. It's 100%, 100%. And so that seems like that's what's working for you. So I'm trying to save some of this food for the rest of our members back there in the studio. So can I taste something a little bit? Can I pick up this? All right, here we go.
Yes, buddy.
As my mama would say. This is change a man. This is change a man from anchorman to brother anchorman. You know what I'm saying? This is good.
Thank you.
That's our scratch muffin made with maple butter. Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead again.
That's our scratch cornbread muffin with a blend of maple butter that we make in-house. Nothing is made outside.
Okay.
Everything is in-house.
Okay, y'all got to keep talking because I'm still trying to
Okay, you
finish.
still chewing. You enjoy it. Like she said, these are our brisket and colossal shrimp kebabs, which is called our surf and turf kebabs. Brisket sausage is only in our restaurant. That
Okay.
flavor there. So if you want it, you have to come see us at Beyond Barbecue to elevate your barbecue palate.
I
That's
love
what's
that.
going on right now. You're elevating your barbecue palate, boss man.
Okay, I love that. Man, you guys are such an inspiration. I mean, and not just because of what you guys do with the restaurant, but anybody out there who's trying to start their own business, especially, you know, for those people of color who are thinking about, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make that happen. You guys are an example of having a plan, putting it together, sticking together with this positive attitude, supporting each other, and making it happen. I really appreciate. Thank you for stopping by. I'm getting this big sign over here from our producer Megan telling me she's doing this. Megan keeps doing what?
Well, we are participating in Black Restaurant Week, so definitely come and check out our lunch specials that we have. Today is Taco Tuesday. You get your $3 tacos.
Okay.
Tomorrow is whiskey and wing. So come out to try our smoked wings. And on Thursday is Turkey Leg Thursday. You don't want to miss it.
Okay.
And also, right off of Mount Zion, 1497 Mount Zion Road, Monroe, Georgia, 30260. And if you remember this, remember this, and repeat this: 11Alive at the restaurant. You get a 10% discount.
What?
Or maybe even a free dessert.
Oh, look at that. Okay, hey, before we get out of here, because Megan's like, we got to take a break. Come over here, Junior. Come over here, Junior. This is Navon Jr. right here. This is a bright young man. What do you got to say to the people? We only got 10 seconds.
I'm really proud of my mom. It's a big inspiration on me, and I just follow my mom and dad lead.
Man, I'm about to cry right now. That is really good. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We have some other news ahead. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
our bar is set by the minimum that somebody can survive with in a third world nation.
Hey, welcome back to our 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. Now we're going to be focusing on some news here in Metro Atlanta. We're keeping a very close eye on tonight's Athens-Clarke County Mayor and Commission meeting. It's taking place as we speak. They're going to be debating several issues tonight, and our very own Malamet is there trying to collect as much information as possible. Among the biggest items there is a resolution on homelessness support, along with housing-related proposals, including changes to secondary dwellings and minimum home sizes. So let's listen in.
Do I don't want to take a whole kebab. Can I just take a piece of the?
It's up to you.
As in Gwinnett County. With owner-occupied housing, it allows for the grandma suites for the daughters to come and daughters and sons and help their parents in aging. It provides for some rental income for people that might need it, but it does not allow for rampant commercialism or student takeovers. So we suggest that at least one of the properties must be owner-occupied. As Bruce Lonnie has frequently said, the ADUs are among us, and indeed they are. You see them in 5 Points and the garage apartments, has been pointed out earlier tonight. We have several in Green Acres. In one, the senior in the household lives in the ADU, and the daughter and her family live in the main house, and then the reverse in another ADU. I'm not sure that the ADU issue has been presented too well by the government. I was on the Future Land Use Committee, and the future land use map left the single-family neighborhoods pretty much untouched, protected as they are. And we were told repeatedly that the growth of 30,000 new residents in Clarke County by 2045 would be absorbed largely, if not exclusively, but largely on the corridors and the nodes, the town centers, not in neighborhoods. And of course, adding ADUs will not greatly accommodate a lot of new residents in any case. So I suggest you send this back. Asked that the commission-defined option be adopted, and receive more input from the community and work out the details about parking and enforcement and setbacks.
Thank you, Mr. Middleton. Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I am Mickey Chastain. I am at 105 Lakeover Drive.
All right, once again, we were watching a live report there. That's Athens Clarke County Mayor and Commission meeting. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor. The main subject is homelessness and how to deal with that particular crisis up there. So our very own 11Alive's Galat Malamed, she is up there right now getting as much information as she can, and we'll have more from her tonight on 11Alive News at 11. Now, this afternoon, Fulton County officials have been asking a judge to allow them to collect taxes to fund the government. County officials say it's because the county failed to assess some of the property needed to send out the tax bills. 11Alive Doug Richards has more on why they're asking this.
This is a case in which Fulton County is basically admitting to some human shortcomings in its tax collections and is asking a judge to not financially bail it out, but to legally bail it out. Fulton County government services like law enforcement and public schools rely on the collection of property taxes for funding. But county officials say property appraisers who answer to the Fulton County Board of Assessors overlooked enough pieces of property this year to slow the collection of property tax revenue.
Something as important as property taxes, there's no room for clerical error nor oversight.
Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts says the oversight put Fulton County in a bit of a government funding crisis. The Fulton County Tax Commissioner is due to issue tax bills August 15th. In order to prevent a delay, the county had to go to court to ask a judge to give the county the go-ahead to issue tax bills despite the clerical oversight. Without
it delays the receipt of money that we, Fulton County, that we need to operate, as well as the school boards, as well as the cities within Fulton County. So it's like a domino effect.
Judge Shakira Ingram did not rule from the bench, but gave every indication that she was inclined to grant Fulton County's request. At the Fulton County Courthouse, Doug Richards, 11Alive News.
All right, Doug, thanks a lot for that report. We're going to take a short break, and our chief meteorologist, Chris Salcombe, just stepped into the streaming center. We're going to talk about that forecast coming up next. Hey, welcome back to our 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. The big story today has been the weather. Let's bring in our chief once again to talk about what's been taking place. A lot of places really got hammered by rain because there was street flooding as well.
Yeah, that was here in the city, and then we had some other areas that have been experiencing some heavy rain as well. It's not widespread, but the areas that are getting rain can get heavy rain at times. We did have a flash flood warning earlier in Fulton County and parts of Cobb County. There was a lot of ponding on the roadways, no actual widespread flooding or anything, but that just goes to show you what can happen when we see these pop-up storms develop and they move slowly. They've got a lot of moisture with them, and they can dump a lot of rain in a short period of time. So here's what we're watching out there right now, where we have still some rain around. Most of that is in far north Georgia. A lot of that over to the west of us and south of us has been falling apart, and also to the east of us too, where those showers have just been circling around Atlanta. We have an area of low pressure. It's an upper level low that's pretty much sitting right on top of Atlanta, and it's a counterclockwise flow around that low, and that's why those showers are circling around the city. This is where we have the heaviest rain coming down right now, and this has heavy rain, thunder, and lightning with it. Some winds of around 40 miles an hour. They're below what we would classify as severe weather, but look at there up in Jasper in Pickens County, Pickens County, heavy rain with that. Going up into Gilmer County near Ellijay. Also in Fannin County, we have some heavy rain that's pushing in there, coming out of Union County and Towns County. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. It's interesting to watch the flow around this. These showers are actually moving over toward the west. Normally we see them diving down closer to Atlanta, but these showers in North Georgia are actually moving over toward the west. In West Georgia, those showers that were in Cleburne and Randolph County, Alabama, also the ones in Carroll County earlier, have all died out. Also on the south side, not as much going on. We had some good showers earlier. Pike, Lamar County, Spalding County, over into Butts County. Now the only thing we see is in Thomaston, and that's those those are dying out. And finally, those showers in Eatonton, they were really heavy. They had thunder and lightning with them. Those finally died out as well. And here in the city, we don't have anything going on either. So we're just waiting for those showers on the north side to finally end. And we mentioned this earlier, some of the impressive rainfall amounts that prompted the flash flood warnings earlier. We're talking 2 to 3.5 inches of rain just kind of slicing right through the city, going up right along the 75 corridor from Henry County through the city up into Cobb counties where we had some of that heavier rain. Now we're just watching those showers on the north side. Again, those are moving more toward the west, and we think that they will weaken as we're losing some of the heating of the day. And this is a view of some of those showers that we're watching there from Dahlonega, looking up toward the east where we see that heavier rain. You can see those rain shafts there in the distance. Also in Athens, things are looking a little bit better right now. And at the airport, good news, we reported this earlier at 6:30, where we no longer have any weather delays. They had a 2-hour delays earlier, also a ground stop earlier when that rain was really heavy in our area. But now everything's clearing out. They've caught up on the backlog, so they're no longer saying that they have any delays there. Temperatures are also starting to rebound. You know, we were in the 80s earlier, and when the rain came in, we dropped down into the lower 70s. And then once the rain moved out, the sunshine built back in, and we have additional showers. Then those temperatures are warming back up now with that additional sunshine. In fact, Marietta is up to 85 now. Atlanta's 82. Still 70s in Carrollton, and Gainesville is also still in the 70s as well. Tomorrow morning, we start off around 71 degrees, and then we warm up to 87 in the afternoon. We're going to see those showers redeveloping, mainly for the afternoon and early evening hours. And then you can see the forecast track, that flow around us with those showers circling the city. Those are all going to die out tonight. And then it'll be quiet to start in the morning. A few clouds, it'll be kind of muggy, and then dry for most of the morning hours. And then it's going to be around lunchtime with the heating building up. We'll begin to see some showers starting around lunchtime and then into the afternoon, scattered. Not everybody getting hit, but the areas that get hit could have thunder and lightning and also some heavy rain. That dies out during the evening. We start off dry again on Thursday. And then like clockwork, once we get into the afternoon hours, additional scattered showers are going to be redeveloping here. And we'll do it again on Friday. I'm really thinking Thursday and Friday, our rain chances are going to be at about 40%. And then we come down to 30% going down into the weekend. So it doesn't totally go away, but at least those rain chances come down a little bit. You see that on Saturday and Sunday to 30%. And also, temperatures will hold in the 80s the next couple of days with those slightly higher rain chances. And then back to the 90s beginning Friday into the weekend and into next week with that 30% chance for showers lingering into next week as well.
Okay, we just have to deal with it. Have that umbrella ready just in case.
That's the key. You got to, because if you didn't have it, you would be not very happy if you get stuck under one of those showers like we had earlier. I had mine earlier. I was prepared.
Yeah.
And coming into work is when that heavy rain was
that's
coming
right.
down. And it was a small umbrella though, so I was trying to keep my jacket in, and I still had water spots, whatever.
Trying to make it in.
That's how it is.
Hey, so Chief, just to let you know, I think, we interviewed Beyond Barbecue.
Yes.
And they brought you a plate.
I've been sitting here smelling it.
Yeah.
And here it is, right
Yeah,
here.
there
I'm
it
about
is.
to dive in. You've got yours over there
got
too.
mine
Your
over
plate's
here.
bigger than mine though. What's up?
I don't know. Well, they give you a little extra.
That's true.
We have to talk to management about that. But hey, we're going to take a quick break and maybe enjoy our little barbecue as well. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back to our 24/7 stream. We're going to be heading back to Athens, Clarke County, where there's a mayor and commission meeting right now, and they're going to be focusing on homelessness and how to address that crisis. Like I mentioned before, Galat Malamed, our very own Galat Malamed, is up there as well. Let's listen in.
A little taller. I live at 228 Cleveland Avenue in the Newtown area. I'm in Ms. Thornton's district. I'm here to speak in favor of the ADU amendment. I'm a teacher, teach at UGA in the art school. I'm an artist, and I'm a home builder. I have a small design-build construction company. We mainly restore old homes, but we do ground-up build. I told y'all during the agenda setting 4 examples of real citizens who wanted to add small accessory dwelling units to accommodate their ADA needs as they aged in place, to accommodate their daughter fleeing an abusive relationship in order to not evict his best friend who was living in his place, and myself, who would like to add some rental income to my property because I built my house 2 years ago in the most expensive time ever to build a house, and I could use some additional income. Today I want to sort of address some of the patent untruths that are being spread in the opposition to this. There's this weird theory that adding square footage, which is taxable, valuable land, is going to decrease your property value. This is 100% false. Free economics prove this. If they were arguing that this was not going to address the affordability issue, I would say, well, okay, maybe there's an argument there that it's not really going to do that much. But the idea that it's going to decrease your value is disproven by every market in America. Okay, guys, we are so far behind the curve, or 8 ball, whatever metaphor we want to use here, when it comes to addressing sort of the affordability crisis within housing, that we have the silver lining is we can look at other municipalities who've already done this and see how it's impacting them. Okay, the state of California, the entire state, and the entire state of Massachusetts have allowed ADUs by right everywhere in the state. Single family still exists, still pretty nice places to live. The state of North Carolina, the state of Texas are getting ready to pass the same legislation. The state of Georgia, we have Macon, we have Savannah, still pretty nice places to live. Last I checked, those are still getting more and more expensive. They are not devaluing. Durham, Gainesville, in Gainesville, Florida, that has the University of Florida, can't hold that against them. What they allow is not 1, but 2 ADUs on their property. That is the most comparable situation to what we have here. Guys, we need housing. Young people need housing. This is a tiny, tiny reform that will allow homeowners who are the most responsible landlords out there to add to their property. Please allow this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stabler. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Jaques. I live at 150 Breckenridge Lane in District 5. First, let me thank my wife, who is getting our kids fed and in bed tonight. Young families are underrepresented at these meetings, but we could really benefit from these zoning reforms. My wife and I recently bought our first home. We're frugal folks in our mid-30s. We have master's degrees and professional public sector jobs.
All right, once again, we're keeping a very close eye tonight on the Athens-Clarke County Mayor and Commission meeting. They're focusing on the crisis of homelessness and how to house people in that particular situation. But we also have a very special guest that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. This young man scored a perfect 1,600 on the SAT. 1,600! It's amazing. We're going to talk to him in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back to our 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. And let me tell you, we got a very special guest today. And it's rare, other than we just saw, the restaurant owners here a couple of minutes ago, but it's really rare to have someone here in the streaming center to talk to us. But as students head back to the classroom, there's one Metro Atlanta teenager already making history, and I mean amazing history, for what he accomplished before the school year even began. Douglas senior Corey Sessom scored a perfect 1,600. 1,600 on the SAT, an achievement that fewer than 1 in 2,000 students reach every single year. So why don't we bring Corey in right now to talk about this accomplishment. So welcome to the 11Alive Streaming Center.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about your success. When you saw that number pop, 1,600, what went through your mind?
Honestly, it was surreal seeing the score on the screen, and actually seeing the 1,600 was pretty crazy. At first I was thinking I was thought it was just going to be a practice run, take it again a month later, but honestly, all the preparation that went in paid off.
Yeah, it obviously paid off because, I mean, especially when you think about that stat, that 1 in 2,000 students actually make it. So, I mean, you're like the 1%, man. You're the top tier here. So what colleges are you looking at right now? Or first of all, you're a junior or senior in high school?
Senior.
Okay, you're a senior in high school. So what colleges are you looking at right now?
Right now, I'm keeping my eyes open. College admissions just opened up, so I'm just
waiting to see what pops up?
Waiting to see. Yeah.
Okay. What do you like? What are you interested in? What do you want to become?
I'm interested in doing engineering. I'm still researching that topic. And yeah.
Okay, so you want to be an engineer? Is it engineering? I don't know a lot about engineering, but what aspect of engineering do you think you want to focus on?
Maybe industrial engineering. I like the analytical problem solving side of industrial engineering. I want to help people in real world things that matter.
And I know that a lot of young people are also thinking about artificial intelligence and coding and all that. Are you interested in any of that, or just the basic foundation of engineering?
I say that's a good topic, but I'm not really too focused in on that. I still have to do my research on all that.
Okay. All right, so we know that engineering is still a goal for you. So what inspired you to even want to go down that path? Because you got to be a pretty smart brother, or whoever you are, to be able to be an engineer. So what made you want to go down that path?
I was looking at the career options. I knew it would set me up. I knew it would set me in a good position after college, so I can pave my way through law school. That's what I decided to do.
Oh, wait a minute. So we're not just talking about engineering. We're talking about going to law school as well, or, I mean, a combination of both?
Well, that's after, but I say the main thing is getting my engineering degree.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then going on to law school. So here you are in your last year. You're a senior. And what school do you go to right now?
New Manchester High School.
Okay, so you're in your last year. And I know we talked about this a little bit, but is there any college that you're eyeballing saying, yeah, I want to go there? I don't know if it could be UGA, it could be Harvard, it could be, I mean, what are you looking at?
Well, my top option in Georgia would be Georgia Tech, of course, but getting into Harvard would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet as well. So Georgia Tech, or maybe any of the Ivy League colleges, have any of them, because getting 1,600, let me tell you something. I don't even want to tell you what my score was for the SAT. It'd be quite embarrassing, but I mean, to get 1,600, to get that perfect score, man, I would think that there's a lot of colleges that are reaching out and saying, hey, Corey, we want you to come here, we want you to come there, especially like a full scholarship. Is it too early for them to reach out to you? Have any of them reached out to you at all?
I know I've received a lot of letters from colleges, but they're really just saying to apply. They're not really giving me an offer or anything like that. Like schools like Yale and MIT sent me offers to apply there and said I was a good candidate, but not actually sent a 4-year scholarship.
Yeah. Now, okay, so you got 1,600 on the SAT. What would that be like for your mom and dad if you got a full ride scholarship in engineering? What would that be like for mom and dad?
I think they would be pretty excited, and I think it would take the hassle off of them. They don't have to worry about paying the way for me through college.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this: they proud of you right now, and their mom and dad are over here behind the stand here in the background. But I'm sure they're proud of you, and I'm sure you ain't gonna have to worry about college being paid for. You're gonna be taken care of, Corey. So thanks for stopping by the 11Alive Streaming Center, man. I really appreciate that.
Yes, I'm thankful for being called up here, and it's just a great experience.
Okay, well, and we can't wait to see what you do. You're going to do some great things. It's going to be all right. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Good job. Hey, welcome back to the 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. Ron Jones. You know, we're going to focus just a little bit on immigration and the way immigration has been impacted right here in Georgia. And a lot of folks out there on high alert because ICE officers are working their way, not just across the United States, but here in Georgia as well. There's also concerns about immigration officers making stops and conducting document checks, including in places where people may not expect to encounter them. So earlier today, our very own 11Alive Zach Merchant spoke with an immigration attorney today to explain what people should know about their rights if they are stopped by ICE. Let's listen in.
Let's start with this. We've seen some scattered reports around the country. What exactly is going on and where is it happening?
Okay, so if we're talking about ICE at the airports, and that's what's the news of the day, TSA and ICE entered into an agreement back in May of last year where TSA is sharing travelers' information with ICE. And what they're doing is they're doing targeted pickups at ICE at U.S. airports. So we're thinking about 15 airports. They're not releasing where because they don't want you to know, but definitely here in Atlanta, San Francisco, LAX, Chicago, and they're going in and they're taking into custody people with expired visas and pending applications.
When you say targeted in the sense of it's at these certain airports, this list of 15 that according to you, we know a few of it, we don't know the full list, or targeted in the sense of specific individuals are being sought by immigration authorities when and if they go to and try to make their way through TSA at these airports?
The latter. So absolutely, they are having that information that they're receiving from TSA, so they know your name. TSA is sharing that information with ICE. They see if you have an expired visa, if you are in removal proceedings, so they know who you are, they know where you will be, and they're literally showing up at the airport looking for John Doe, going to the gate, checking their paperwork, looking at the photographs, seeing the person in the terminal, and then taking them into custody.
Let me ask you this question from both perspectives, because obviously immigration policy, immigration law has been at the center of our national political discourse, and if you call it debate, I think would be a neutral term to describe it. It's an issue that has got heated perspectives on both sides of the aisle. Let me ask you from this angle first, is it legal for ICE, for immigration authorities, to do that?
Absolutely. If you are out of status, you are out of status. You do not have a right to be in the United States. Airports are public spaces, right? So you don't need a warrant for the most part. And that's another reason why. You know, when we had the argument, well, you don't have a warrant. You don't have a right to be in my home. You don't have a right to be in my business. An airport, public space, government property for the most part. So they don't need a warrant. It's easier to do. They have the individual probable cause, and they take the person into custody, and it's fully legal.
And you have every reason to initiate that conversation as well, because anytime you want to get through the TSA security checkpoint, you've got to give up your ID.
Absolutely.
So that step is also, from the perspective of immigration enforcement, that box is checked, right?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you from the other perspective. I can imagine some conservatives may look at the situation and say, if your paperwork is in order, if you have abided by immigration law, you don't have anything to worry about here. Is that true, or is that a simplification of the matter?
I think it's a simplification because prior to this surge at the airports, if you had a pending asylum application, you did not have status, but you were waiting for an adjudication on your case. So people could travel domestically, and they are doing it by the law, right? I'm waiting for someone to make a decision on my case. So now I want to take a family trip to Disney World, right? And I'm going to do that through the airport. So technically, you are out of status. Technically, you can be removed. But prior to this surge, prior to this collaboration with TSA, you would not be interfered with by the government at all.
You're an immigration attorney. You have a good perspective on all of this that I think lay folks sometimes don't. You get to look behind the curtain a little bit as you're working with clients, as you're working in the space of the law. We hear anecdotally about a pretty substantial backlog in the time it takes from the initiation of any form of immigration legal work, whether it's removal proceedings or asylum applications or any kind of number of issues, to the point of final adjudication. Is that true? And if so, how big of a backlog is it?
That is absolutely true. When we're thinking about asylum, there are over 4 million cases waiting to be adjudicated. So
in the United States, 4 million plus people here in the United States.
People who came in, right? Some without documentation, and you can, right? Because you're making a claim, persecution, you don't want to return. You come to the border and you're allowed in. Some people are here, they came in lawfully, and now there's war in their home countries, or laws have changed, and their race, their gender, their sexuality, is those topics, those areas are you're being heavily persecuted, they don't want to return. So you file an asylum application, and that's doing it legally. But there's a 4 million case backlog. So what I believe is happening now, it's just too many loopholes, and there are too many people here, according to the current administration. And now, because you technically do not have status, you are being detained. Now, you can still have an opportunity to go before an immigration judge, but you're kind of being fast-tracked.
You mentioned the judge aspect of this. I wonder, and at the risk of maybe getting too into the weeds here myself, but I think this is germane to what we're talking about. Is this backlog an issue of just a big surge all of a sudden in claims? Let's just talk about asylum, in asylum claims. Or is it a function of not having enough judges to keep up with the claims, or some combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both. You do have people who have the opportunity to come here, don't wish to return for legitimate reasons, and of course, reasons that are not too legitimate, and knowing that they can indeed file for asylum and wait for that application to be adjudicated, and know that it will take a number of years, and you can get a work permit, and you can work lawfully. So it's a combination of both, and not having enough immigration judges, immigration officers to adjudicate these cases, and that's why we have the backlog.
What do clients tell you? What do folks who are working through the system tell you when you talk to them?
They throw up their hands. You know, they're looking for an answer. They're looking for immigration attorneys to fix something that we literally cannot fix, because we want people to know their rights. We don't want to teach them to avoid the law. We want them to understand the law. And sometimes we just have to tell them, based on existing immigration law and current policy, we're at a standstill. There's really not much we can do for you, but we can teach you on how to exist in this climate if you decide to stay here.
Okay, that's a very important subject that we're going to be talking about for days, weeks, months, and years to come, is immigration, not just here in Georgia, but across the country. Well, tonight, across our country, we are celebrating, or at least participating, Americans are, for the National Night Out, a nationwide effort to strengthen relationships between communities and police officers as well. This is all part of the community policing initiative that started way back in the 1980s. And here in Atlanta, events across the city will feature food, of course, games, and public safety demonstrations as well. And joining us right now is District 11 Council Member Wayne Martin to talk about why these connections really matter when it comes to families and law enforcement, and increasing trust between both of those. So first of all, thank you for joining us right now.
No, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. How are you?
I think we're, hold up, Council Member. I think we're having some technical.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, I can hear you very well.
All right, so first of all, it looks like you guys are having a national night out right now where you are. Talk about where you are,
You see the
and
crowd behind me?
explain what National Night Out means to folks here in Atlanta.
Yes. Well, National Night Out is one of my favorite times of the year. It's where neighbors come together and we get outside and we enjoy each other, all under the guise of having a good time and promoting public safety. That's from the fire perspective, also from the police perspective. I'm joined by our local police commander here, Major Clay. Our NPU leader is here, Dr. Faye Floyd. A whole bunch of neighbors from the Tail Road community.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, so here's the deal, council member. So I'm a former police officer from way back when, out of Oakland, California, more than 30 years ago. And even back then, in the 80s and 90s, we talked about the importance of community policing and accountability. How do you think, and I know the answer to this, but how important is it for our agencies to be transparent and be held accountable and how does that benefit the community as well?
I'll tell you, that's easy. When we have police leaders like Major Clay, who grew up in this community, who's policed in this community and all of his career, we believe from the APD perspective, as well as for me as a council member, that transparency is one of the number one principles of policing. and public safety. Neighbors need to know who is providing their safety. Neighbors also need to know that when something happens, that we're going to step up to the plate and be straightforward about it to try to make sure that we are doing what one of the mission items is, which is protecting and serving.
And let's just not. I mean, the community, of course, they love events
Yeah.
like this, because I remember
Yeah.
even back in the day, they would tell us, don't just be sitting in the patrol car, but when you get into the community, if you're not, doing a report, you need to
Yeah.
get out of the car, speak
That's
with
right,
the
that's
residents
right.
that you are serving. You're not just protecting, but you're serving them.
That's right.
What does this do for the morale of the officers there to know that they are now interacting with the community and with folks where they're
Right.
from?
The officers that I, interface with, they want to be out and about in the community. Major Clay leads an amazing team. I was just with soon-to-be Deputy Chief Mormon a few minutes ago. He's over community services. The officers that I know and meet, from the newest officers fresh out of academy up to the chief, they love being in the community. Call Major Clay to come out and be a part of anything community related. He is right there on the scene, playing sports with the young people. He loves to eat the food that we're having in the community. And so about policing, I think that city's safer than anything, is officers being in the streets, in the neighborhoods, knowing who they're preserving and protecting. And I think that makes us a safer city.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And especially it helps with investigations as well, because if they trust you out there on the
Yes,
street,
absolutely.
then they feel like comfortable that they can talk to you as well and protect their anonymity,
That's right.
so that they can, keep their community safe. My last question for you
Yes.
is, some people may say that, well, the police only show up after something happens. I mean, what would you say to them about the workload that's on law enforcement agencies,
Yeah.
not just in Atlanta, but throughout Metro Atlanta, and maybe some of those officers who can't get out of the patrol car and interact with folks? What
Yeah.
would you say to those residents?
I think we race. Policing is not an easy job. It's gotten harder over the years, and it's sometimes we're understaffed. But we're working on making sure that we can recruit more young people from the community to be on the force. But those officers there, they're often working overtime, trying to make sure that our precincts and our zones and beats are covered. And so I think we need to make sure that we give them grace. But like you said earlier, hold them accountable, and let's all have some shared accountability in keeping our community safer. If you see something, say something. Help our law enforcement officers to keep the streets safe, so we can use a public safety moniker more than we're using law enforcement. Because if we stop crime before it happens, that makes us a safer city.
Oh, Councilman, you hit the nail on the head, because it's all about that partnership, because officers can't be everywhere all the
Yes.
time. I said that was my last
That's right.
question,
That's
but I
right.
do have one more question for you, sir, and that is recruitment. Like, it's really tough
Yes.
to get maybe people of color
Yes.
to want to get into law enforcement. How do we do that? How do we get more people who never even thought about law enforcement to actually want to serve their community that way?
I think it starts with, to the point you made earlier, making sure they understand that you are a part of the community when you sign up to be a public servant in the police department. And again, policing is not just about arresting people. Policing is about being at events like this. Letting in that I'm not here to arrest you. I'm not here to treat you badly. I'm here to make sure that we are safe from outside forces. And so the more we work together on keeping our community safer, we can do that. And so I'm all about getting into our high schools, letting folks know there is a career in law enforcement, that maybe you don't have to carry a gun, and maybe you can get a role that is non-emergency related. But we need men and women. We need service people that are willing to step up to the plate and help make our city safer. And it's not about, you cannot arrest your way into a safer city. We have to do
No.
community policing. We have to have policing alternatives. I think that's how we become a safer Atlanta.
Okay, I love that. I love that. It's been 30 years, I said, before I put on the uniform. I think it's a little too late for me to join APD, but if I had to, I would be ready. Council Member Wayne Martin from District 11, thanks for stopping by the 11Alive Streaming Center. I really appreciate it. And tell everybody back there, I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but just tell them I said hey.
Yeah, they can see you.
Hey.
All right. All right.
All right, have a great day. Have fun. We'll talk
You
to
too,
you
my
soon.
friend.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Streaming Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb. We've been telling you, we've been watching some of those showers around. Most of those have died out in our area, except for in parts of far north Georgia. We've had some heavy rain up there and thunder and lightning, and they're not moving that much either. Let's take a look at radar, and you can see here what we're watching as we move. I'll kind of show you this in motion here, as those showers up to the north of us have not really been moving that much. They are drifting over toward the west. And you can see with all the heavy rain coming down, I'll put that back into live mode right now. You see this green polygon right here? This is where there is a new flash flood warning that is in effect right now for those areas of parts of Gilmer County, also coming into those areas of Fannin County as well. This is going to be in effect for the next few hours. What's happening is we've been seeing some pretty impressive rainfall that has been pushing through those areas. You've got a lot of thunder and lightning there with that rain that continues to move in those areas of far north Georgia. And in that green polygon, I'm going to now lay over the rainfall totals that we've been seeing with this. And they're saying that the heaviest rain has been over into the eastern parts of Fannin County. See that purple area right there? And the National Weather Service even mentioned the town of Hemp right there along Highway 76. That's between Morganton in Jones Creek and Blairsville, that area right there where you see that blue, that's where they've seen some of the heaviest rainfall amounts. Our Doppler radar can estimate how much rain has fallen. There have been some spots here in this area where we've gotten around 3 inches of rain. So with the terrain there and a lot of the mountains that we have in those areas, it can cause runoff and can cause some flash flooding in spots. So this is an area that we're going to keep watching during the evening hours. I really think that for the next little while, we've already seen, you see right there at Hemp, the heaviest rain has already moved through there. But now that this is pushing down toward the south, with that heavier rain going from Highway 60 there around Hearst, this is just south of Blue Ridge. Very heavy rain and thunder and lightning over Lucius, White Path, also near the Wilson Mill area, where we still have this flash flood warning that is in effect. I want to give you the specifics of what the National Weather Service is saying with this. It's for East Central Fannin County and northeastern parts of Gilmer County. Radar indicating those thunderstorms producing heavy rain in that warned area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain has already fallen, and another 1 to 2, possibly some areas of 3 inches are possible in the warmed area. So flash flooding is ongoing or could be forming there in just a little while. I want to show you our tower cam out of Blue Ridge right now, and we have been watching the heavy rain that's been moving through. And again, this is just moderate rain over Blue Ridge right now. The heaviest rain is just south of Blue Ridge. There you saw a couple of lightning flashes there on our live camera too. So we'll keep an eye on this. I just wanted to kind of come in briefly and give you an update on this that we have going on. I will give you another wider view of what we're watching here and put this into motion. And we had those showers that were kind of circling around the city of Atlanta. A lot of those other showers on the west side, to the south of us, and over to the east of us have died out. We're now just waiting for these up in North Georgia to die out. And I'm kind of seeing some trends there where it looks like that red and orange is kind of starting to shrink up just a little bit more. It's trying to grow a little bit more there near the LJ area. But I really think the trend over the next 30 minutes or so will be that these showers are going to start dying out a little bit more. But I really want you folks up in parts of Fannin County and also into Gilmer County just to be aware that you've had some heavy rain. And if you're in a flood-prone area, just watch in those flood-prone and low-lying areas for the potential for some flooding to develop there with this flash flood warning that is going to be in effect. And let me give you the expiration time of that really quick. Again, it's for these areas of Fannin and Gilmer. Radar indicated this is going to be in effect until 11:45. Now, what happens a lot of times is that the Weather Service will issue these warnings for 2, 3, 4 hours. And then the rain will let up and they will let them expire, or they'll cancel them a little bit early. So that could be the case with this. But in the meantime, just be watching that up in North Georgia with that heavy rain that continues to move through there with that flash flood warning in effect for parts of Fannin and Gilmer County until 11:45. And I'll be keeping an eye on this. I'll check back with you in a little while if necessary. If these storms start to ramp back up, then we'll let you know about that.
Okay, Chris, thanks for stopping by. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the 24/7 stream here in the 11Alive Streaming Center. One of my favorite times. We're talking sports. We're talking Falcons. We got some good news and some bad news. Reeves Jackson here to explain what's going on. So we got Bijan on signed on the dotted line, but what happened?
You know, that's the good news, as you mentioned. So we'll start with that. We'll start with the good news. So Bijan Robinson was a hold-in training camp to start, which means he was there with the team, but wasn't participating really because he was waiting for a new contract. And as expected, we didn't think it was going to take too long. The Falcons did give him that contract, indeed, 3 years, $75 million. It makes him the highest paid running back in the NFL. And I think the Falcons are probably pretty happy that they got it done before another running back for the Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, is also waiting on another contract. And him and Bijan Robinson are kind of viewed as the top two running backs in the NFL. And so I guess the fear was if the Lions got a deal done with Jahmyr Gibbs first, then the Falcons were going to have to be like, okay, well, whatever they just paid him, we're going to have to pay him more. Yeah. And so now the Lions are in that pressure boat of, okay, now we have to pay Jahmyr Gibbs more money than Bijan Robinson. So it was good timing for the Falcons all the way around. And he's the face of your franchise. Yeah. And I know a lot of people think that the running back position, especially in the last few years, is more of a replaceable position just because there seems to be a lot of talent that kind of goes unnoticed for a few years, and then you see a lot of running backs pop on the scene in their mid-20s. And even a lot of rookies that don't get a lot of run in the first 2 years, they often come on the scene in their third and fourth year. Look at Tyler Algier, for example, who's now with the Cardinals, but really burst on the scene in his last 2 years, really last 2-3 years with the Falcons. So, but when you have a player of Bijan's caliber on, you got to get him locked up.
So give us the numbers again, Reeves. So we're talking how much for how long?
3 years, $75 million, which in my opinion is the perfect length. Bijan Robinson's 24 years old. Yeah. The lifespan, in my opinion, for running back before you start to see a noticeable drop off is usually around that 27 to 28 range. So you're going to get him through the prime of his contract, and he's already produced phenomenal numbers in his first few years.
You know, that's true because, people have to understand, and I'm sure many of our sports fans out there know, but when you're a running back, I was speaking to this one young man. His name is Dale Rogers. He played for the 49ers way back when Montana was playing, and he played on special teams. He says, Ron, if you're playing running back, it's like you're in a car wreck continuously,
Correct.
Right? So it really bangs up your body.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have some bad news, too,
out of
Falcons camp. What happened here?
Yeah, so Jalen Walker, which was one of the Falcons' promising young defensive edge rushers, kind of a versatile player, kind of plays a lot of different schemes in the Falcons' defense. He was a first-round draft pick, 15th overall out of the University of Georgia last year, had 5.5 sacks his rookie year, had 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. He went down in training camp today and was carted off the field. It's feared that it's going to be a torn ACL for Jalen Walker, and that's going to obviously force him to sit out for the entire season. And the Falcons kind of rushed practice to end after that. It was kind of especially coming off the good news of Bijan Robinson signing a new contract. Tua Tagovailoa has kind of gotten back from that back injury, and then you have this to happen. It's very unfortunate because Jalen Walker last year was right aside James Pierce Jr., who is obviously going through some legal stuff right now and will probably have to face a suspension before if he's allowed to play this year. And so you kind of had James Pierce overshadow Jalen Walker a little bit last year as the more productive rookie. But Jalen Walker, if it wasn't for James Pierce's production, would have been a little more in the spotlight, and he just was overshadowed a little bit. But and I think Jeff Ulbrich was looking at maybe more of an expanded role for Jalen Walker this year. Disguising blitzes, pressure quarterbacks from different angles, and that's the thing about Jalen Walker too is it's such a hard person to replace on the Falcons defense because you can line him up at edge rusher to rush the quarterback. You can drop him back in off-ball coverage and linebacker. Yeah, exactly. And then you can also have him drop back into coverage as well and maybe defend a tight end. That's how agile and quick he is. So it's like, of course you can replace him, like the personnel, but it's hard to replace what he does in so many facets of the game defensively.
Why don't we bring in producer Megan right now? And Megan, what do you think about this? I mean, especially all the changes that the Falcons are seeing. we're right smack dab in the middle of training camp. Everybody's optimistic. We're moving forward, but then you have these setbacks. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing the afternoon stream. They had an afternoon practice today, which was the first time they've done it all season, or the whole week that it's been of training camp. But this is the first afternoon practice that it was, and we started seeing the tweets. Maria Martin was up there and said that he went down right around like 3:15 in the afternoon, that he went down. It didn't look good. The whole team went out there, was around him. They brought out the cart and carted him off. And when there's injuries, they usually cart them off regardless of the severity. Just, you don't want them walking off their feet. It's easier just to put them on the cart and get them out of there. But from the start, it was like, oh, we're hoping that this isn't going to be something like what we most likely believe it's going to be. There is practice again tomorrow, so we'll have to see if there's any more updates on that. I know he was scheduled to get an MRI, I think was what Maria said, so we'll see what that result is. But they practice again tomorrow morning, and if it is a season-ending injury, they are definitely going to be in the market for getting an edge rusher, which that was the biggest thing last year, was that the Falcons, okay, they have the offensive pieces, they got Bijan, they have Drake. It was the defensive line and the pass rush that they really needed to improve on, and they did that by drafting Jalen Walker and drafting James Pierce Jr. and adding a couple other pieces. Falcons were setting sack records and franchise-wise and everything like that, so it was really promising defensively. They kept Jeff Ulbrich here for a reason with the coaching staff. When you have a new head coach come in and Kevin Stefanski, usually they want to bring in all their own guys, and for the most part he did, especially offensively. But he did keep Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator because he knew how strong of a unit Jeff had, and now that unit's taking a hit. So we'll have to see what the plan's going to be from now on.
And he's also one of their emotional leaders too. Like when the Falcons released their new uniforms, you had Bijan Robinson, Drake London, you had A.J. Terrell, but you also had Jalen Walker, was one of the four guys they're showcasing as a franchise player. It was exactly. So like he's also a guy that not only is like in the locker room a guy that is heavily relied upon, but also to the franchise and to the Falcons fans, he's the guy that they're trying to make a face of the franchise. So it's tough emotionally too for the Falcons and also for the fans to see someone that is such a big part of this team go down. And he's a Georgia Bulldog too. You have a lot of fans that are drawn to that as well.
You know, and I think about this because I saw Maria Martin. Obviously, we had tossed Maria Martin out there at Flowery Branch, and when she said that everyone took a knee, I knew that it was going to be serious, you know. But if it's a minor injury and the person is carted off, you want to make sure that they're healthy. I mean, that's fine. Maybe they continue practicing. But when everyone stops, takes a knee, starts praying, then they saw something that maybe not everybody else would see. So
it's also tough too because obviously we're hoping for the best. We hope it's not a torn ACL. We hope that maybe it's an injury that he can come back from and might miss some time and then make an impact for the Falcons later on. Obviously, that's just our best wishes, but it's going to be, if it's true and it is going to be a season-ending injury, it's going to be tough because, like I mentioned, to replace what they lost with James Pierce, and it's still unforeseen what's going to happen with him, that's already a big problem that the Falcons were going to have to figure out this year. But then you lose your second first-round pick from last year, and the Falcons already lost some guys from last year, Caden Ellis notably, to the New Orleans Saints, and Divine Diablo is going to be back from injury. But it's the front seven. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday off air, but the front seven is my biggest concern for the Falcons. That D-line and the linebacker group was already a concern for me before Jalen Walker's injury, so this just adds injury to insult to injury.
One thing after another in this training camp. It's been a week, and they come into training camp, and Tua's hurt, and they have to fly Cooper Rush in, and Bijan's holding in, and okay, all of that is somewhat resolved. Tua's practicing a little bit more. It hopefully looks on the right trend of things for the back, and then today.
Yeah, that happened. So I know we only got, because our producer Megan tells us we got like 15 seconds left. So is there a bright spot here? I mean, what can we say other than the signing? Okay.
Bijan and Tua's back. Hopefully the offense can get a little bit more in rhythm, and then hopefully Jalen Walker's injury is not as bad.
Okay, so the Falcons just have to rise up.
Rise up.
There you go. All right, and then Megan's like, let's wrap it up. All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a fantastic night. We'll see you back here tonight on the 11Alive News at 11. We'll see you then.